does that mean that the semi-presidential system is a combination of the presidential system and the parliamentary system?
Yeah, you have a system where, of course, the duties are clearly separated. Like I said, the president is head of state. The prime minister is head of government. What are the duties of this prime minister? I mean, the head of state. They are not ceremonial. Whatever you got to do with defense, internal affairs, external affairs. As a matter of fact, I'm sorry.
How would that help in the fight against corruption?
Good. You have a system where there is what we have been calling for, restructuring. You have a system where you probably would not need more than 3 ministries in Abuja: defense, internal, interior ministry, and external affairs. If you have others, health, education, you can have bureau of education, bureau. For goodness sake, all these social services, they are the prerogative of the state government.
But isn't that within the... Isn't that just a name? I mean, if you say the Ministry of Health, for instance, is not the Bureau of Health, isn't that just a change of name?
No, it will not be. Basically, a bureau is just to, you know, formulate policies and send them to the federating states. Now, if they're okay with the policy, all well and good. We are now talking of devolution of powers to the states. We are talking of even autonomy of the local government, so that whatever money we have, it is being specifically directed towards the needful. Now, the prime minister is head of government. Even the cabinets are selected from, I mean, the ministers are selected from cabinet. So we are now talking of a situation where you have a president that is popularly elected and a prime minister that is elected from parliament, in which case, in our own situation, where it is turn by turn, it is a north today, south tomorrow, the answer is there already. If a northerner wins the, for instance, presidential election, you know it's automatic to select your prime minister from the south. But I am calling them long-term measures, because you have to really sit down and amend the constitution to deliver what we are talking about.
As it is now, you look at it, the nation wants some quick measures, quick wins in fixing this, because you can attest to the fact that we're in a dire strait, in a dire situation, to the extent that...
I agree.
So if you have to advise on this particular fight, which you say is what you would want to call a media war, let's take it away from the pages of the newspapers.
Exactly.
How would you love to see the fight go?
I think we have already addressed some of these issues. One, we must ask the people to come together. I'm talking about APC, that's the ruling party. Let them, for me, honestly, corruption is not about a party, whether it's APC, because some people are already talking about selective trial, etc. Those two parties are just like two green bottles of beer. One is Heineken, one is Star. So whether that person is from APC or PDP does not really matter. So what I'm talking about is this. Let us come together. The president is let us come together. DSS is going to be involved. EFCC, ICPC. At the end of the day, let us have a clear-cut, short-term strategy, some of which we are already saying now. Special tribunals, so that you not keep adjourning these cases. So there's an immunity clause, you know, short-term measures that can be easily, you know, ratified in the National Assembly. Let them keep doing what, you know, they have to do. But
you think that special tribunals would easily be ratified in the National Assembly? Like
I said, why can't we just push it there and say, once upon a time, there was this doctrine of necessity. We are fighting corruption. We have declared a state of emergency on corruption. You know, let us now wait for the parliament, I mean, for the assembly people to mess us up. For instance, why should people be clamoring and running out committee chairman positions?
For what? The National Assembly?
The House of Reps especially. They are, you know, it means you have some ulterior motives.
What if they just really... What if they really want to serve the people in those committees?
When it comes to services, the politicians, for goodness sake, probably 5% of all politicians are prepared to serve. It's about their pocket.
That's a paltry sum. 5%.
Don't let me reduce that percentage. For now, 5%. You know, I've been part of the system. I was a politician for over 35 years. And honestly, I hope I can declare myself as an ex-politician. I've been on sabbatical for over 2 years. I am honestly enjoying watching the game. There's this uncle of mine, Dr. Bakere Omodawole, when he was advising me against politics, he said, look, Benga, politics is like a game of football. The spectators, they enjoy it better than those on the field playing the game. Strategy is what we are saying now. Let us look at the APC manifesto. How can we deliver their promise? Then the president, you know, form his cabinet. 50% of their discussion every Wednesday should be centered around this fight against corruption, so that we won't stop listening to figures like, oh, a U.S. Official whispered into the ears of a governor that somebody stole. Who is this person?
I'm just wondering, I mean, at that time, while you were in politics,
yes,
I'm sure too they must have talked about fighting corruption. What was the thinking of politicians at that time, or perhaps their disposition to all of those mantra about fighting corruption?
There is a Yoruba song that these politicians that they sing, I'll try as much as possible to translate in English. We are going to cook the food together when the cook is very, I mean, how can I? Cooking yam. When the yam is ready, all of us will enjoy. That is the philosophy of the average politician. And that is the truth. It is their philosophy. We are working to get our man there so that we can chop. If you are contesting an election, 90% of them, you know, they are looking at, okay, or 80, let me be 80. They are looking at what they can make from you in the course of campaign. They don't want to know whether you get there or not. Another 10%, you understand, believe that, oh, when this man gets there, they share post 2 hours, 2 years before election. When this man gets there, I can be an ambassador, I can be a minister, etc. But there's this silent 10%. Silent 10%. They don't make noise. But you find out that those are committed to the development of the country, so to speak. So that is what it looks like. That is why they don't complain until that person is not taking care of it. They come up with all sorts of concocted lies. The man is stealing, the man is putting his brothers in, etc.